Hey guys, Ryan here in Espey's gym. Now, I'm filming this kind of in reverse order. I'm doing the intro at the end and I'll move it to the front. You know, you can probably figure that out by looking at the state of me having just finished this workout. This was day one. It is the static holds I do for elbow flexors, hand and wrist. Now, all of these exercises are done for a few seconds to failure and load increasing. The rule is I have to be able to stop the weight. Now failure is when you open right up, but if I can at least hold that weight and stop it from going down, then it's too heavy. Again, with the board, you need to be able to hold it with your fingers flat for at least a couple of seconds before they open up. If you're starting open up, the weight is too heavy. As your hands open, they will stop that weight and you'll be able to hold it there, but the point of the exercise is keeping your hands flat. And you'll see me reiterate that when you get to that part of the video. This was day one, video one. Next one's coming next week. New thing, Q&A coming up right after this. Hey guys, Ryan here, Espey's gym. As promised, first exercise in the static hold day is using the Bicep Blaster, and you're just going to do a flexed arm hold. Now I'm using a low pulley on a chain. I'm only holding it I'm using a weight that I can only hold for a few seconds, and the range of motion is very small, but the goal is to overload the bicep and the brachioradialis in a flexed position. That's it. It's a few second hold. And I'll do 3 sets of that. Okay guys, exercise 2, 3 sets. Single arm. A lot of people call it rising. Moving on to brachioradialis. Towel over the knuckles. Okay, and it's a static hold. So you can help it up there. I'm just holding for a little bit of time. Progressing with the weight. And again, 3 sets. You guys, exercise 3, static holds. Again, 3 sets. Now you've seen my demonstration of what I do for side pressure. This is a bit of an evolution of that. You see a high pulley. I've got the weight heavily braced on the floor because I'm way back from a lat pull-down machine. And where some people struggle isn't necessarily with side pressure itself, it's side pressure with a load. So I'm pulling up the weight, suspending the weight, and then I'm heading to the side and I'm holding it here until the weight opens up my arm, like so. And I'll try to stop it a couple of times with the left. And there you have it. Alright, bear with me guys. This is shot during the course of my regular workout, so you might see it frame to frame, but in the meantime I've done a few sets. So next one here, and because I'm using a thick handle here, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a reverse curl hold. So I'm going to do this kind of superset style. I'll show you one arm. When I get opened up, I'll try to pull my arm back up and do it again. So as I hit failure, and I'll do this a few times, and just trying to stop the weight on the way down. Oh, yeah, and there it's done. So now you guys have seen what I do basically for my elbow flexors. I'm kind of changing directions now a little bit, going to hands and wrist. And the first exercise I do is a country crush deadlift. And it's not a hold, it's just a max deadlift. So I'll do 3 sets, building up to what I hope is going to be a failure at the end. And you got to learn where your maxims are. Try to push it a little more every time you're in here. So just off the ground, back down. 3 sets. Hey guys, you've seen this one before. Country crush holds. I love to do this exercise. It's one of my favorites. I'm doing a thumb around, okay? Not over, thumb around. Flex wrist position on the lat pull down. pulling the weight down as far as until I'm fully pulling the weight down to the bottom of my range of motion. And just waiting for it to open up my hand and wrist. Now I'm hoping that most of you are like me, where your back is going to absorb more pressure than your hand and wrist are, and your hand and wrist will fail before your lats give out. If you can't, then I suggest you look for some kind of alternative to this exercise. And again, 3 sets. It is time for the household favorite, the board hold. Okay, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing, and then I'm going to give you a close-up view of the board. 2 sets, okay? The first set has 2 phases. It's kind of a superset where you have your hands halfway out on the board, like between these knuckles right here. And I have it up here, and I'm standing on the high pulley because I don't want any movement in here. I want this to be static. So all I have to do is just lean back a little bit. Now when this weight starts to take my hands a little more than I would like, I will put the weight down, move my hands all the way in, and do it again just to get that overload. No using the thumbs on this one. And it will burn. And it will hurt, and eventually you'll hit failure, and that's where you need to be. And you're going to do that twice. Now, this exercise, you are training this angle of your hand to be at 90 degrees. That's not 90 degrees, this is. Or tighter if you can, if you are genetically gifted enough that your hand will close more than that. And when you go wrap around your opponent's hand, that's where you want it to be, that closed. Every fraction of an inch you are more open than that, you are giving away leverage to your opponent. So if you need to take 3 pounds so you can do this weight or do this exercise properly, then that's what you should do. Any opening at all when you are doing this, you're using too much weight. All right, guys, last but not least, wrist hammer holds. Now I do have a wrist hammer that's plate loaded, but I prefer the feel of a real sledgehammer, and I like to do a progression on this. So right now I'm at about the label. If you need to increase the weight, you just got to go down the handle. So I'm grabbing at the label. I'm going to hold it at my side in that position, working this area of your wrist right here, and when that eventually will fall, slide it up the handle a little bit. Failure again, slide it up a bit more. So the farther back you start on this thing, the more little reps you can get, different positions. Not only becomes a much harder exercise by increasing the weight, but you're going to get a longer time under tension as you move up the handle. So that's the last exercise, guys. I'm going to do 2 sets of this, and that's going to be all she wrote for today.